morning, everyone. We're watching some people start to join us, so we're just going to do a quick check, make sure everybody's getting in. So today we're going to do a webinar, and we haven't done one of these in a while, so we're excited to be starting these back up for everyone. And this has been a hot topic we've been talking with a lot of clients about lately. So we're going to dive into Google My Business and do a 101 level, what it is and why you need it. All right, so today I have both Valerie and myself here. I'm Amanda Sutt. I am the creative director and CEO at Rock, Paper, Scissors, and we are a branding and marketing firm that focuses on helping our clients cut through the clutter, and we partner with them to build brands that connect, messages that resonate to drive results. And so we've been in business for over 30 years, so we've seen a lot of change and done a lot of changing ourselves to keep up with the time. One of those things changing is keeping up with things like Google My Business. So Valerie is one of our senior content marketers, and she will be joining me. This is what we've been talking to a lot of people about, so we're excited to dive into it. So before we get into the details of it, I want to give everybody a heads up. This is not just a presentation. This is really a conversation. So please feel free to post comments in the Zoom chat or tweet at us. We'll definitely go through questions at the end, but if something is coming up, we'll go through it as we go along. I do have everybody muted at this point just so we can hear, but if you start putting chats out, we can definitely open that up and talk through some stuff. So I want to start with one of my favorite quotes from Stuart Britt. He says, "For a business not to advertise is like winking at a girl in the dark. You know what you're doing, but no one else does." So often as a business leader and as marketers, we have a knowledge gap because we're living in this business every day, and we don't always realize what our customers and potential customers don't know. So today we're going to talk about turning the lights on Google so the world knows what you're doing. So chances are you are Googling something almost every day, anything from restaurants to where to get your oil changed, hair salon, all of that stuff. And if incorrect information about your business is floating around the internet, you could be losing business if people can't find you or your hours or your address is wrong or any of those small but very important details like that if they're not being kept up. So the task of keeping up with all that information can sound and feel daunting on most days, but making sure it's accurate doesn't have to be difficult or time consuming because Google is always listening. And so they've heard our complaints about that. So they have made it a lot easier with this facelift of Google My Business. So it really can help and streamline this.
So, like we just said, if you've ever used Google to find information on a particular business, you've probably noticed that in addition to that listing of results with lots of links on that first page, there's a box to the right highlighting a business. It might be the business you're looking for, or it might be something that Google thinks you're searching for. And that's over to the right, and that is the Google My Business listing. So Google My Business is a free, easy tool to use. It helps you keep up and manage your online presence and appearance in Google Search, as well as Google Maps. And so if you've ever searched for a particular business's name in Google, you'll often see that box on the right-hand side, and that's referred to as the knowledge panel. Over to the right of the organic and paid search results, it's just a quick and easy way to display information as well as photos, hours, reviews, and it allows you or the customers to interact with you by guiding them over there and then to your website or inviting them to give you a call or book an appointment. Lots of things they can do with it.
Very customizable. So we recommend it. One, we haven't seen some big changes in social media in a while, and we're going to call it on the cusp of social media. But what Google My Business does is it unites search, directory management, and even online advertising, all while being extremely cost effective. And so it ends up being a win-win-win, which there's not many things that are really starting to consolidate stuff for us as marketers. So this is really refreshing. So it makes it easy for both you because you're being able to very easily go in and get all your information in one place, as well as for your audience, because no matter what business they're looking at, it's always in that same format. So it's just helping them find information faster and faster. Also not as high maintenance as some other social media platforms, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But right now, it's also very cost effective, i.e., right now it's free. And there are some illusions that it might not always be free. Now, the advertising part definitely is not free. That's still paying for Google Ads and such like that. But keeping that listing updating and being able to do the post right now, it's very nice. One thing that they're not charging us for yet. All right, so I want to dive into a little bit why we're going to spend so much time on it, why I keep preaching this to so many different clients. So what we want to look at is let's look at some data. So we're looking at where traffic comes from. So people start their journey on Google 93% of the time. So whether that's trying to find a phone number or directions or really starting to research a brand. So all right, if they're starting their journey, that many people are starting their journey there, we want to make sure that that information is accurate. All right, they start there, but what do they do after they leave? So this is just a recent breakdown of what it looks like when they're leaving. So 25% will click through to your website, and so they need more information. 5% will go to social media because you can put links right there. And then 70% stay on Google because they get the information they need on the knowledge panel, or they're going to push straight through to maps. So still, once again, we want to make sure that that information is accurate. So if you are very limited on time and you're trying to prioritize, this is something I'm highly recommending to push up in your priority.
Okay, so now that we know a little bit about why Google My Business is so important, let's talk about how to get started. So if you already know a little bit about Google My Business, this is just going to be a refresher on some of the old stuff. So hang with us. We're going to dive even deeper in a few minutes. Yep. So the first thing you need to do is determine if you have a listing yet, or if you need to create a new one, or if you need to request ownership of something that is currently out there. So to get started, if you're not sure if you have a Google My Business listing, first thing first, head to Google, type in your business name, maybe even your city and state, and then look over to the right of the results page for a knowledge panel listing for the business. And if your business isn't listed, then you need to create a Google My Business listing. If it's there, but it notes that it's unclaimed, you need to claim it. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then if it's already claimed, you'll just need to request ownership of the listing. So if you need to determine you need to create a listing, you just go to google.com/business and then click the Manage Now button, sign in through a valid Google account, or if you don't have a Google account, create one. Super simple, easy, and free. And then follow the instructions. It'll walk you through the process of creating a new listing. If there's an existing listing but it's unclaimed, again, sign into your Google account or create one and then search for your business if you haven't already. Ideally, if you know it's not claimed yet, then you've already searched for it. So if you're on a desktop, what you'll see over in the knowledge panel is a link that says own this business. So if you're trying to claim a listing, that's what you'll click on. If you're on a mobile device, click on the claim this business link, and then you'll receive instructions to verify your information and claim the listing from there.
So to request ownership of a Google My Business listing, so this could be somebody else accidentally claimed it, or somebody who with your organization who or isn't with your organization has claimed it and you need to claim it back. So there's a couple reasons that this might need to happen. So they've taken that into account because not everything is easy when it comes to the digital world. So the first thing you'll want to do is you'll see that the listing has already been claimed. You'll click request access and submit the form. So the current owner will then be emailed and you'll get a confirmation. So you can then wait for the owner to respond. It's usually, they say it takes up to 7 days. And then you'll be notified by email if it's approved or denied by the current owner. Basically, it just give yourself some time. If you're going to have to do this, there's some back and forth. At the end of this presentation, Google actually has a phone number that we can call with this now. So if you have problems with it, I'd highly recommend just picking up the phone and talking through it. And, so that's a new thing with Google.